Okay, what's going on? Vince Rapsardi, Big Blue Unbiased.com. Thank you to those who've liked, commented, and subscribed. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to turn notifications on so every time I post these videos, you get a notification and you can come join in on the conversation. Remember, we have a sponsor, Manscaped.com. You get 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code BBU, as in Big Blue Unbiased. They get a lot of cool things, different razors, you got nose trimmers, you got ball shavers, you got ball deodorant. Many cool things on their website. Again, 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code BBU. If you want to support our channel, support our sponsor at Manscaped.com. Remember, 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code BBU. Okay, so let's get to some Giants football. There's not too much going on, but Dave Gettleman, I saw a YouTube video today. Gettleman talked with Bob Papa and Carl Banks. And they were just kind of asking him about the draft, and he really didn't give too much information. But there was one thing that I took from that short video that I thought was very interesting, and it was in regard to who they might take in the first round or what their plan might be in the first round. Gettleman stated, and I'm paraphrasing here, that he hopes every quarterback, all those top 5 quarterback, that there's about 5 good quarterback prospects that are expected to be quality first-round picks. He hopes they all go in front of the Giants, so there's more other positional players, non-quarterbacks available when the Giants pick, and more options for them to choose. Obviously, Daniel Jones is going to be their guy moving forward for this season at least. So they're not thinking quarterback in the first round. I do think that I think that they should take a quarterback in the mid-rounds. I think that they should go in that direction, maybe 4th round. I think that's something that they should consider, just given Daniel Jones' injury situation. And, you know, look, he didn't have the best season last year. The circumstances were not great, so I'm not going to completely blame him. But you want to give yourself as many options as possible at the most important position. I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that. They think it's just a wasted pick, but you never know. You never know. You may find some legitimate value, franchise-changing value, if you get it right. So that's that. All right, so he mentions that you can't have too many good players at a specific position. You draft over a player, you draft over a player. So he's essentially saying, if you draft, let's say you have a bunch of good edge rushers. If there's a good edge rusher out there in the draft, don't feel bad about taking him. You want competition, and that's something that he specifically stated about competition and quality depth. And that's something the Giants did. Papa mentioned it, Bob Papa. He mentioned it in the video about Matthias Kiwanuka when Gettleman was a part of the Giants organization, and the Giants drafted Matthias Kiwanuka in 2006 in the first round. And at that point, they really didn't need Matthias Kiwanuka. They had Osi Umenyiora, they had Michael Strahan. Justin Tuck really hadn't come along at that point yet, but eventually he would obviously come up big in 2007. But they drafted a position that they were kind of set at, and they just decided to draft over a player, draft over a couple players at the defensive end position and find good value. The best player that they thought was available was Matthias Kiwanuka at that point in 2006. So that's interesting. I think that's a very interesting comment about you draft over a player, you draft over a player. This makes me believe, in my opinion, at this moment, I think the Giants are going to draft a playmaker. I think they're going to draft either a wide receiver or Kyle Pitts. I've stated before, I'm not the biggest fan of taking Kyle Pitts at 11 if he is there. He reminds me a little bit, not him personally, but his style of game is just too much Evan Ingram to me. And I think if the Giants are going to take a tight end that high, they should look for a more complete option, not just a pure receiver. As we've seen, I think if you have a tight end who's just a pure receiver and not a great run blocker or not an all-around tight end, they get exposed. I mean, I know that, you know, okay, against the linebacker and against the safety and against this and that, it's going to be a great matchup. Well, okay, well, have we seen anything incredibly special watching that with Evan Ingram over the last 4 seasons? Not really, because he's not a good blocking tight end. He's really not a tight end. You're just sticking a wide receiver at the tight end position. I think Kyle Pitts would be better than Evan Ingram because I don't think Evan Ingram has done much as a receiver in general. So I think he would offer the Giants more in that category, the receiving category, which is where Ingram is supposed to be good at. 11 drops last season. But if I were the Giants, I could not take another tight end in the first round that is so similar to Evan Ingram. Just wouldn't do it. But I think that that's a direction that they could go in because, as I stated, I think what Gettleman is pointing to, he's not scared to take another playmaker, even if they have Ingram and Rudolph at tight end. He's not scared to take a wide receiver, even though they signed Kenny Golladay. As he saw last season, his quarterback struggled big time because he really didn't have too many weapons. Ingram hurt the Giants. He wasn't productive. Saquon Barkley was injured. Slayton didn't really take the next step. I think he's a nice second wide receiver, a good wide receiver too. He's fine. Golden Tate, not good. Sterling Shepard had his injuries here and there. I think he's a good slot receiver, but not someone you're going to count on to make big plays. He's not a big play receiver. They signed Golladay, but Galladay's also had his injury concerns. What if let's just say he's out for a 4-week stretch? Are you going to trust that wide receiving unit? With Daniel Jones' career, essentially Giants' career on the line this season, he needs to step up. Dave Gettleman's job on the line, he needs to step up. Joe Judge, I mean, everyone likes Joe Judge. I understand that. But if the Giants have if the Giants have another 6-win season, people are not going to like him that much. That's just how it goes. It doesn't really matter if you like him personally. Wins and losses, that's really what tends to create either love or hate with a fan base. A lot of people don't like Dave Gettleman because the Giants have lost a lot of games. Fair enough, I understand. I'm not, look, you want to see the Giants win more games. I understand that. Then you got to be a little bit patient here with the rebuild. And this is kind of their year that they need to step up. But like I said, if Joe Judge doesn't win a bunch of games, he doesn't improve off of last season, his job will be on the line. That's just how it goes, right? I think the worst position that they could be in right now is if they don't have enough playmakers for Daniel Jones. If the offense is not producing at least to an average level. Last year, I believe they were 31st in offensive EPA, expected points added. That's not good. Okay, unless your defense is just disgustingly good, I highly doubt you're going to win many football games if you're that bad on offense. It's not really going to work out in today's game. You got to be good, especially when throwing the football. They couldn't create big plays. Yards per attempt, again, was low for Jones, second straight season. So I think they're going to go playmaker. Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, who knows? Who knows who they decide to take, but I think wide receiver or Kyle Pitts is a real option. If I had to guess what I think the Giants would do, I think they're leaning in that direction. That's my guess at this point, because I think you can kind of tell Gettleman doesn't mind taking another player, even if it creates more competition, even if you think, oh, well, they signed Golladay. I don't think they care at this point. They want to add as many quality receiving options as possible, and you find it interesting, the Eagles put out the news last week, and I do think that they purposely put it out. I don't think it was just reporting, that they were willing to trade back up into the top 10 and potentially take Jalen Waddle. That was the name that was being thrown around. And then the Giants, a few days later, it was rumored, reported, I think they put it out as well, they're willing to trade back. We don't even care about the 11th pick, right? They're playing games here. They're playing games. It's interesting to watch. They're both putting out information, I do believe. I don't think either one of those teams is truly going to do that. That's just my guess. I'm going to take what I feel right now. I don't think either of those teams, at this moment, I don't think either of those teams are thinking either one of those things. I think the Giants are in a great position to trade back. I think they're in a great position to do that, especially with a good crop of quarterbacks. I think there could be a quarterback there at 11. A team goes, you know what, let's trade up. Let's take Mac Jones, whoever it might be, at 11. But if I had to take a guess today on April 25th, Sunday, April 25th, my guess is that the Giants are going to take a playmaker. I don't think that they're scared of overdrafting a position, having too many good players at a position. So I think it's going to be Pitts, or it's going to be a receiver like Waddle or Devontae Smith. That's my guess at this point. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Vincent Rapisardi, Big Blue on Bias.com. Remember, Manscaped.com. We have our first sponsor. I really appreciate Manscaped.com. If you guys can go there, use our promo code. Really appreciate it.